We will now call this meeting to order. Welcome everyone to Boulder Rotary, the best place to be on a Friday afternoon. I'm Darla Sheath, past president 2009-2010, for those who don't know me, standing or rather sitting in for President Sally Brown. It's been a wild and crazy past couple of weeks in our community, hasn't it? Wildfires, cold winter weather with welcome snow, increasing COVID infections, and nonstop election campaigning. Whew. Here's our chance, at least for the next 90 minutes, to have a little respite from it all. And yes, our warm, sunny skies, as you can see in my background, are back. We want to be able to welcome all of our guests. So would each of you please type your name in the chat and who invited you here today? We're so glad you're here. And while our guests are entering their names, Jean Linda Key will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and the four-way test.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now the four-way test. The four-way test. The things we think, say, and do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you.
Thank you, Jean. Cass, were you able to capture all the names?
I captured a few, and hopefully people will help me if we miss some, which is very likely given that there are multiple screens of people. Now, Beth and Peter Ornstein, I want to welcome you. You're from the Sustainable Israeli-Palestinian Projects, and Meryl, of course, invited you, and I think Meryl may have invited Leslie as well. Hello, welcome, as well as Eric, Maria, and a very cute young one that I can barely see the very tops of his head. Hey, Eric. I think there are more guests. Boyce Scher is sitting in, invited by Dan. Thank you, Dan and Boyce. Anybody else that I'm not seeing? Well, if you're here, we really, really welcome you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Cass, and welcome everyone. Cass was sitting in for Charlotte Rome, our membership chair. And now I have a few announcements from Sally and quite a few cliff notes. So I make sure I share with you everything Sally wants us to know. So she passed along a letter from Running Strong for American Indian Youth. The letter reads in part, on behalf of Running Strong for American Indian Youth and our spokesperson, Billy Mills, I'd like to thank you. This letter comes from Lauren Haas Finkelstein, the executive director of Running Strong. I'd like to thank you for your generous gift to help connect homes to water lines. We received your generous donation of $33,000 for 11 water connection lines on Pine Ridge Reservation on October 1st, 2020. No, that's good. So even during the pandemic, Boulder Rotary continues to do very important work, and now more than ever, our friends in the Lakota Sioux tribe on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation in South Dakota need drinking water. So thanks to all of you who did and will support this very important project. From Norma Portnoy, she just sent me an email, so I'm going to bring that up. Norma wants us to know we need Rotarians to sign up for the next intergenerational philosophy circle that we do with nonprofit Natural Highs. It will take place on Zoom on Saturday, November 7th, a week from tomorrow, from 5 to 6:30 p.m. The topic for this discussion with Rotarians and the teens is how we can be leaders in the world right now. especially in light of the current changes and challenges our society is facing. So we need 7 more volunteers for next Saturday evening. And if you're able to do so, please let Norma know. And then Randy Butler would like you to know that the District 5450 Peace Committee will present monthly 1-hour free discussions on prevailing topics on the first Thursday of the month over the next 5 months. The first on November 5th from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m., which Randy will lead, called Let's Talk Some More. This session is a follow-up to Randy's District 5450 workshop on September 26th, entitled Let's Talk. Several of us attended Let's Talk, and we were glad we did. A very worthwhile workshop. Randy has a schedule of these monthly discussions, so be sure to look for that in our weekly rib. Okay, moving right along. Michael McHale will introduce one of our newest members. Michael, you'll need to unmute yourself.
Thank you, Darla. It certainly is a pleasure to have this opportunity to introduce our newest member, Ben Gilo, who joined Boulder Rotary Club earlier this month. And Ben is being sponsored by Daryl Brown, Valerie Lippitz, and myself. A little bit about Ben. Ben grew up in Plymouth, Michigan, where his first experience with Rotary was when his high school swim team would partner with the local Rotary Club in roasting and selling chicken dinners every year at their town's annual fall festival. Sounds like a Rotary Club. Ben's swim career took him to Yale University, where he was a 4-year varsity member, held the varsity record in the 200-yard butterfly, and was awarded the Yale Men's Swimming Ivy League Scholar Athlete of the Year. He received a Bachelor of Arts in History of Science, History of Medicine, which at Yale, Ben participated in the Bulldog Buddies, which is a university-sponsored version of big sibling, little sibling program with local elementary students. Ben received a master's degree in health service administration from the University of Michigan. He completed his administrative fellowship at the University of Texas Medical Branch in Galveston. Ben is the executive director of the Boulder Valley Care Network, which is a clinically integrated network of physicians that provides our community with efficient, coordinated health services. Ben has lived in Boulder since 2016 with Xena, his American Eskimo dog. He enjoys cycling. He still swims from time to time. Ben is connected with Rotary because he's looking to find new ways to give back to our community. His favorite ways of service usually center around mentorship, and he looks forward to seeing all the other opportunities that the Boulder Rotary Club has to offer. On behalf of our entire club, Ben, welcome to Boulder Rotary. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael, and welcome, Ben. And now we'll move to birthdays. George Russell.
Yes, I thought I would do a little poem today.
Okay.
I never said I wouldn't, and I never said I would. I never said I couldn't, and I never said I could. I never said I wouldn't win. I never thought that I would lose. Always hoped I wouldn't regret the path that I would choose. I never thought I sought the glory. I just tried to do what's right. I never thought I had a vision that came from perfect sight. I never thought I'd be wealthy. I never thought that I'd be poor. I never thought I'd be a slacker. I never thought I'd be a doer. I'd heard what Mark Twain said, and I put it to the test. For being just mediocre, you see, I'm always at my best. We don't have any birthday people today that wanted to speak, so be sure and let me know. My phone number is 303-638-8622. You're welcome to call me and let me know if you want to speak. Thank you.
Thank you, George. So I have one more announcement before we do the PowerPoint, if we're able to do the PowerPoint. Fred will let me know about that. Cass wants us all to know that we'll have one of Boulder's best next week as our program. For 60 years, Boulder has been home to the award-winning Colorado Shakespeare Festival. Tim Orr, the festival's producing artistic director, will give us a look into the festival's history, its current season, and what it is like bringing Shakespeare to the public in a pandemic. So another exciting program next week. And Fred, are we able to have the PowerPoint?
May I just ask for excuse? I really would like to attend with you, but if I may excuse, thank you very much for having me. I really want to just stay a little bit with the daughter and take her a little bit out. Thank you very much and happy weekend, and hope to meet you soon, inshallah.
Thank you. Shalom.
Welcome.
We understand, Dr. Amro.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Okay, so Fred, do we have a PowerPoint? I know George Garmany was ready to go, but Nancy, you go ahead, and if we're able, we'll come back to the PowerPoint. Thank you, Mike.
Okay, you got it. Thank you. Today, for our membership moment, as we know, we focus on one of our members. And today is one of the days when we are focusing on a red badge member who is transitioning to blue badge. And he's here today. Vipul Seth, are you on? Gotta unmute.
Hey, Nancy.
Hi there, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. Okay, so I have the pleasure to interview Vipul Seth. He arrived in the United States from New Delhi, India in 2000, and his former company, Ericsson HP Telecom, relocated the whole family to Denver. He's been a member since April 24th of 2020, and his sponsors are Charlotte Roan and Jim Radowski. And I know his
But to unmute, Nancy, you're muted.
Okay, did you hear what I was saying earlier?
No, not for the last 10 seconds, probably.
Oh, 10 seconds, okay, that's right. So I just wanted to say that the sponsors were Charlotte Roan and Jim Radowski, and you've been a member since April of 2020, and that I met your wife at a chamber event, and she served us from the gourmet kitchen wonderful food. So I would like to ask you this question. The culture of India and the countries that you visited and you hold dearly, and your family and community are values that you love. So with the multicultural businesses that you have, how do you think the community experience will be? And can you tell us a little about a few of your companies?
Sure. So I did email you. I did not realize I have to speak it. So I will try to remember what I wrote to you. So we, as you said, we came to the US in 2020, and we have 3 companies. We opened our catering company, the Gourmet Kitchen, in 2002. We opened a venue called Copper Leaf Event Center in 2014. And after the pandemic, we had no business. So we started our restaurant called Roots in July. And through our business, what we have tried to do is to connect to our roots. So basically, food is a way to connect to your roots, and that's what we started doing through our catering company, and we offer food from all around the world, and we have continued that through our restaurant. The countries I have visited, I have been to Canada and Mexico and Sweden, Norway, Indonesia, Singapore, France. Those are the ones that come to my mind right now. And values for me, I value environmental sustainability. I'm very passionate about that. And I also believe in people's right to clean water, air, uh, affordable healthcare, and nutritious food. And those are my values basically. And I believe those are the same values that the Rotary Club has, and that's why I think I joined the club.
Wonderful. Wow, you just wrapped it all up.
Nancy, I'm gonna interrupt just for a second to say, if you're not speaking, please mute. There's some background noise we're all hearing. So please mute if you're not speaking. Go ahead, Nancy. Thank you.
You're welcome. So it looks like you answered all three questions. Well, the other question I was asking you, because I know your food's delicious and stuff, and the roots is something really new. If you had the Boulder Rotary Club's magical wand, what would be your answer to solve a world problem you believe in?
So that's pay it forward and serve without judgment.
Wonderful, wonderful. And can you tell us why the Boulder Rotary Club, and I think you have, is a great fit for you?
That's because of the values that Boulder Rotary has, which is serving the community and serving without judgment.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I'd like the Boulder Rotarians to please welcome Vipul Seth, going from red badge to blue. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I got it.
Thank you, Nancy and Vipul. Welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, do we have the PowerPoint, Mike? Go ahead.
Happy Halloween. Boo! Now that I have your attention, welcome to A Voice from the Past. I'm George Darmody, and I'll be covering the PowerPoint presentation for Daryl and Sally for the next couple of weeks. For over 100 years, Boulder Rotary Club has been the best place to be, even from your own computer desk. The Centennial Committee has just published our Centennial Retrospective with 68 pages capturing our first century of service. You can check out a few pages at the Amazon listing, and you can also participate in a bulk order with your fellow club members. Please contact Chad Stam if you are interested in getting a copy along with your fellow Boulder Rotarians. Upcoming on November 12th will be this Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion program. The president of the Colorado Springs Club will be a speaker, and their club brought it to our attention. At this time in our nation's history, the title of The Power of Connections with Diverse Communities sounds like an incredibly appropriate subject. Sign up at rotary.org/DEI, and you can bet that the DEI stands for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Here's another opportunity to engage in discussion on relevant community topics despite the pandemic. Our own Randy Butler is featured in the first talk next week. These forums are organized by District 5450, and you can register at the district website. Now here is a special opportunity to attend a virtual luncheon on Sunday with RI President Holger and guest speaker Rachel Lonsdale of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Learn exciting news about the End Polio Now initiative and support the program at the same time. You must register, though, before noon tomorrow. Noon tomorrow, that is. Details and sign-up are all available through the district website. Maybe it's the Halloween theme, but I think that we should find a better acronym for the Rotary International President than RIP. Maybe it's just me. So here we are, all cooped up at home, ready to just scream. So, all together now, let's have a great weekend.
I just want to give a great big shout out to several people amongst us who I have just through this meeting today have newfound respect. There is so much that goes on behind the wall here, and I found that out today. So a big shout out to Fred Hull, Mike Brady, Cass Murphy, Bill Anderson, George Garmany, and Susan Connolly. You make it happen. Thank you, thank you. That concludes our meeting for today. See you all next week and have a great weekend.